Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Manish Sisodia, Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, has just left the CBI office after over 9 hours of questioning. But since morning, the capital witnessed full-scale drama that was on display. The Aam Aadmi Party turned Sisodia's questioning into quite a spectacle. Sisodia has been accused of high-level corruption in the liquor scam as the accused number 1. But he was being projected as a martyr by the Aam Aadmi Party. The Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal went to great lengths to support Sisodia by equating him with revolutionary freedom fighter Bhagat Singh. Chief Minister Kejriwal said that this is the second fight for freedom and jail cannot deter his ministers and supporters. He led the Aam Aadmi Party's charge by saying jail ke taale tootenge and Sisodia chhootenge. Listen in to Arvind Kejriwal making a speech in Gujarat, Ground Zero, earlier this morning.
उन्होंने कहा गुजरात में हमारी सरकार बनेगी, गुजरात में भी गांव-गांव के अंदर, शहर-शहर के अंदर ढेर सारे स्कूल बनाएंगे। अभी उन्होंने गुजरात आना था, लेकिन आज इन लोगों ने मनीष सिसोदिया को गिरफ्तार कर लिया। वो नहीं चाहते कि मनीष सिसोदिया गुजरात में जाके चुनाव का प्रचार करें। 1 महीने तक ये मनीष सिसोदिया को गिरफ्तार करेंगे। जैसे ही 8 तारीख को नतीजे आएंगे, गुजरात में आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार बनेगी, जेल के ताले टूटेंगे, मनीष सिसोदिया छूटेंगे। मैं मनीष जी को कहना चाहता हूं, आप चिंता मत करो, आपके ना आने से प्रचार बंद नहीं होने वाला। ये सारी जनता प्रचार कर रही है, घर घर जाके प्रचार कर रही है।
On the other hand, Manish Sisodia compared himself to Mahatma Gandhi. Listen in to Manish Sisodia.
मैंने इस बात को भी याद किया कि जिस तरह से बापू के खिलाफ उस वक्त की सरकार ने तरह तरह के फर्जी मुकदमे लगा के बार बार उनको जेल भेजा। मैं आज पहली बार अपने आप में वो गर्व महसूस कर रहा हूँ कि जिस तरह से हमारे देश के शहीदों ने, हमारे देश को आज़ाद कराने वाले लोगों ने देश की जनता के लिए लड़ाई लड़ी और वो जेल में गए। जिस तरह से बापू को षड्यंत्र में फंसा के अंग्रेजों की सरकार ने झूठे मुकदमे कर करके जेल में भेजा, आज मेरे ऊपर भी एक फर्जी मुकदमा करके मुझे जेल भेजने की तैयारी की जा रही है।
The CBI, on the other hand, has asked several questions about Sisodia's role in the Liquorgate scam. They've asked questions on who pocketed the 6% of the 12% cut money or commission, on whose behest was the new excise policy drafted, why wasn't the LG's permission taken before implementing the policy, and more questions that continued to face Sisodia in his 9 hours of questioning. Even as his party drew parallels with Bhagat Singh, the family of freedom fighter has objected to this comparison and asked the Aam Aadmi Party to apologize. Listen in to Harbhajan Singh Dhata, who is a relative of Bhagat Singh ji.
भगत सिंह जी जो जेल में गए थे, वो किसी करप्शन केस में नहीं गए, या किसी पर्सनल उनकी कोई ख्वाहिश नहीं थी। वो एक मुल्क के लिए गए हैं, वो आजादी के लिए गए, वो किसी पॉलिटिकल गेम प्राप्ति करने के लिए नहीं गए थे। अगर पॉलिटिकल प्राप्ति करनी होती तो वो फांसी पर नहीं चढ़ते। और ये बहुत मंदभागा है, एक ऐसा पोजीशन पर बैठे हुए हैं केजरीवाल साहब, इंटेलेक्चुअल हैं, उनको ऐसी बयान नहीं देनी चाहिए। आप पॉलिटिकल लड़ाई लड़िए, डेमोक्रेसी है, सभी को ये हक है कि वो अपना फाइट दें इसमें पॉलिटिकल गेम में।
The opposition has mocked Aam Aadmi Party's act of projecting Sisodia as today's Bhagat Singh. The BJP says the whole show looks like Jasn-e-Bhrashtachar, or actually a celebration of corruption. And Sisodia was raising slogans today as if he won the World Cup in corruption. Listen in to the BJP's charge.
आज ये अतिशयोक्ति नहीं होगी अगर ये कहा जाए कि ये जश्न भ्रष्टाचार है। जिस प्रकार से मनीष सिसोदिया आज खुले कार में अपने समर्थकों के साथ नारे लगाते हुए फूल माला डाले हुए निकले हैं। ऐसा लग रहा है मानो कोई किला फतेह करके वापस आ रहा है। सत्याग्रह ऑन करप्शन, ये भगत सिंह का भी अपमान और महात्मा गांधी का घोर अपमान है। राहुल गांधी भी वहीं गए थे और मनीष सिसोदिया भी वहीं। देयर इज नो डिफरेंस एब्सोल्युटली।
And that brings me to the legitimate question that we are asking on the Newshour tonight. Is the Aam Aadmi Party fighting persecution or propriety? That's the question and that's the debate. AAP Bhagat Singh analogy. That's the hashtag and the debate coming up on the other side.
You're watching the Newshour at 9. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
Well, Manish Sisodia just stepping out of CBI, addressing the media. Let's listen into him.
चाह रहे थे, हम तो शिक्षा के लिए आए हैं, ईमानदारी से काम करने के लिए आए हैं। फिर मैंने साफ साफ बोल दिया कि भैया मुझको तो खुशी मिलती है जब दिल्ली के रिक्शे वाले का बच्चा इंजीनियर बनता है, तो उसमें जो खुशी मिलती है, मुझे सीएम बन के खुशी नहीं मिलती, सीएम बनने के बारे में सोच के खुशी नहीं मिलती। एक दिल्ली की मेड की बच्ची जब डॉक्टर बनती है तो मुझे खुशी मिलती है। मेरा जीवन शिक्षा को समर्पित है। मैं इस तरह के ऑपरेशन लोटस के किसी दबाव में नहीं आने वाला। इनको जो करना है करें। पूरा केस फर्जी है, कहीं दूर से दूर तक कोई सच्चाई नहीं है उसमें। कोई 1 करोड़ का 1 रुपए का कहीं कोई घोटाला नहीं हुआ। ये बीजेपी वाले कहते रहे और दबाव बनाते रहे 10,000 करोड़ का घोटाला हुआ है, कोई घोटाला नहीं हुआ। आज वहां से भी समझ में आ गया है।
Well, that was Manish Sisodia clearly saying that he has nothing to hide and there is no indication or proof of any corruption, and as usual the same allegation of them being targeted just because of a political conspiracy. So let's go across to the debate on the other side, and joining me tonight, Gaurav Bhatia, national spokesperson of the BJP, Ratan Sharda, author, Ravi Srivastava, political analyst, Sanjay Jha, author, suspended Congress leader. But my first question goes to Dr. Sumanth Raman, political analyst. I want to ask you, Dr. Sumanth Raman, is it now the latest trend that anybody who's called for questioning by the Enforcement Directorate or the CBI, instead of answering questions, does this whole speech about, a rally and speeches and how they are being targeted? While I understand that, but comparing yourself to Mahatma Gandhi or Arvind Kejriwal, calling Satyendra Jain and Manish Sisodia as Bhagat Singh, is that not taking things a bit too far?
Well, I think Navika too can play this game. If the aim is to sort of cripple the Aam Aadmi Party's campaign machinery for the Gujarat elections, then the Aam Aadmi Party can do its bit to derive political mileage out of what is going on. Look, we've seen a series of AAP leaders either now in jail. Satyendra Jain, obviously he was in charge of Himachal Pradesh. What happened? He is now in jail. Subsequently, Vijay Nair, who was the communications head of AAP, he is in jail. Then they went after Amanatullah Khan. Now it is the turn of Manish Sisodia. So I think that the Aam Aadmi Party is justified in feeling persecuted, feeling under siege, and they feel that this is an opportunity to turn the tables on the BJP and try to extract political mileage from this situation. Now, very importantly, I think Manish Sisodia is hoping or was hoping that he would be arrested because that would generate a greater amount of sympathy for the Aam Aadmi Party. And clearly the Aam Aadmi Party is emerging as a force in Gujarat. Otherwise, we would not be seeing what we are seeing right now. The important thing is that I don't think at any point any of the Aam Aadmi Party leaders compared themselves, whether it is to Bhagat Singh or to Mahatma Gandhi. They were drawing a parallel, saying that, if you tread the straight and narrow path, which they claim to tread, then they will have to face the difficulties like those great people, whether it was Mahatma Gandhi or Bhagat Singh. So that is all that is being made. They're not equating themselves with Mahatma Gandhi or Bhagat Singh, and I think it's a ridiculous argument to even think that they are talking in terms of that. Now the point is, how long does this campaign go on? I mean, December 8th is the date of counting of votes, hopefully it is said. So hopefully, fingers crossed for the Aam Aadmi Party, this ordeal may come to an end by the end of November or thereabouts, once the voters have cast their ballots at some point of time in the Gujarat elections. But Manish Sisodia has faced this now for the better part of 1.5 months. Raids, bank lockers, questioning by the CBI today, 9 hours, I think it was, he was questioned for 8 or 9 hours. So when does it stop? I mean, at some stage, you have
Dr.
to
Sumanth Raman,
money
Dr.
trace.
Sumanth
Somebody
Raman,
said
I
they
will
gave
get
100 crores,
Mr. Gaurav Bhatia to answer all the points that you made about, you know, who's making political mileage out of it. But I just, before I go to Gaurav Bhatia, I just want to ask you a small question on your choice of words. Was that a slip or was that deliberate? You said the Aam Aadmi Party has decided that two can play a game. I want to ask you, investigations are a game, number one. Number two, comparisons with Bhagat Singh and Mahatma Gandhi are part of a game for you, Dr. Sumanth Raman. That I find a bit shocking, because we all know what Bhagat Singh stood for. We all know what Gandhi ji stood for. And for you to believe that this is part of a game and two are playing a game, I think upsets the sensibilities of people of this country. At least it does mine. I don't know about others.
It does not. What I said very clearly, I repeat it. The Aam Aadmi Party believes that if the BJP can persecute them, or the BJP government can persecute them for showing to the people of Gujarat that they are all corrupt and so on, then they have a right to extract political mileage out of it. So
well, that's not exactly how you said it. That's not exactly how you said it. But I have a problem if you want to call this a game. If you call it a game, I have a problem with that. But Mr. Gaurav Bhatia, to the point of persecution being turned out as a political statement by the Aam Aadmi Party, which they have the right to do, respond to that charge by Dr. Sumanth Raman.
Navika, let us first talk about the two perceptions that exist today. One, Aam Aadmi Party in the eyes of Aam Aadmi Party leaders and their leaders. And second, Aam Aadmi Party leaders in the eyes of the common man. So I will just compare the two. Arvind Kejriwal, in the eyes of the Papi AAP, is like Mahatma Gandhi, but in the eyes of the common man, he is the kingpin of corruption. Manish Sisodia is Bhagat Singh in the eyes of the Papi AAP, but in the eyes of the common man, he is accused #1 in a corruption case being probed by ED and CBI. Satinder Jain, Kattar Imandar for Arvind Kejriwal, but in the eyes of common man, he is a Hawalabaz #1 who hasn't got bail even after 5 months. Gopal Italia, for Arvind Kejriwal, he is Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, but for the common man, he is Galibaz #1 who abuses females, who abuses Narendra Modi ji as well as Hindus. Amanatullah Khan and Tahir Hussain are Nobel Prize laureates for Arvind Kejriwal, but for the common man, they are riot accused. Now, after saying this, the larger question today that is being raised by the Bharatiya Janata Party is this, that if you have committed an act of corruption, today why this political drama? And if you say that you are being falsely implicated due to political vendetta, this one question needs to be answered. The FIR was registered 2 months back. 2 months' time is adequate time for Manish Sisodia to move the court and get the FIR quashed on this ground. Why didn't he do that? Question number 2. If the excise policy was so good, Why did you withdraw the excise policy? Question number 3. Why is it that you waived off 144 crores? Because there was a quid pro quo, you were getting kickbacks. Question number 4, which is very important, there were notices sent by the excise department. Why have you not taken action against these companies? Question number 5, why were the AAP leaders beneficiaries who were given various tenders and excise shops? Can you answer that? Any of the questions, and then we can take forward this debate.
Well, you want to respond to those questions, Mr. Ravi Srivastava?
Navika, can I answer some of those?
I'll come back to you, Suman.
I'll respond. The BJP spokesperson, first of all, BJP has no moral right to even name Mahatma Gandhi, and their principal party. They were the person who killed Mahatma Gandhi, who belonged to that party, that particular group. So they have no right to even name Mahatma Gandhi for that matter. Second thing is, all these questions are in the realm of speculation. BJP can just write all those questions 150 times and keep it folded and keep it in their refrigerator because they have got no relevance. No such question has been asked by the CBI till date. You also showed in the start of the show that CBI asked these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and all. My sources tell me that no such question was asked. And Manish Sisodia has himself spoken before camera and stated that what he was doing, he was feeling very happy about it, and that Delhi girl becoming a doctor or Delhi boy becoming an engineer, which he wants to carry to Gujarat as well. This is what his agenda. And that is, he has clearly stated that this is a fake case, absolutely. No money trail proof, no quid pro proof, no charges proved yet.
Can I respond?
No proof is there are no charges yet because CBI has not published any piece of paper where they have said that these are the charges. So I don't find that there is any worth of replying these things. BJP can keep their questions in their cold storage as long as they want it.
Can I respond?
Gaurav Bhatia, please respond.
Yeah. You know, look at the answer from a sympathizer of the Aam Aadmi Party. When I asked them the question that the people of the entire country are asking, that Manish Sisodia, if he feels that he has been targeted politically, Navika, why doesn't he move the court and get the charges quashed? And the answer to this question is that this is in the realm of speculation. I don't know what he means by that. I think he should have moved the court. But the problem is, Navika, even Arvind Kejriwal knows that all of them are corrupt. They tried to loot the people of Delhi. Now they are caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and therefore they're trying to not move the court but play out this political drama. Second, why are you actually exerting so much of pressure on the investigating agency? If you're truly honest, face the questions. Why this drama of giving a speech, a road show, which has been a failure? Third, comparing yourself to Bhagat Singh ji. Let me tell you this very clearly. A corrupt person has no entitlement even to talk about Bhagat Singh ji, leave alone being compared to Bhagat Singh ji. And why are you now rushing to the Rajghat? Mahatma Gandhi's portrait does not find a place in the Punjab Chief Minister's office. His portrait has been removed, Navika. But today, for convenient politics, they decided to go to the Rajghat, remembering Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi would be, sad today to even see. His soul would be sad that these corrupt people are coming to my samadhi. Why are you coming, bhai? Why? Why are you remembering Mahatma Gandhi?
Extremely ironic, and let me get in Sanjay Jha before I get in Mr. Ratan Sharda. Sanjay Jha, ironic that Mahatma Gandhi is remembered for what? For liquor scam. And you know, Mahatma Gandhi and his, even October 2nd is, a dry day across the country, and Gujarat is a dry state. But Mahatma Gandhi is being invoked for liquor scam. Number one. Number two, I want to ask you, 28th of September, did you hear any place in India where Aam Aadmi Party paid their respects or had any rally for Bhagat Singh? That was his birth anniversary. Nobody did. पर आज वही महात्मा गांधी, वही भगत सिंह और वही शराब की कहानी. I want to ask you, between the Congress, between the Aam Aadmi Party, have we now decided that political battles will be fought through the shoulders of agencies which have to face and put everything in the domain of the courts? If Satyendra Jain has been in jail for 140 days, it's because the courts haven't given him bail. How can you then blame this on political vendetta when the courts are hearing this matter virtually every now and then? I want to ask you this question.
Navika, good evening. I think very pertinent points. First and foremost, it has to be stated that it's absolutely ridiculous and preposterous to actually try and bring in a political mileage by invoking Mahatma Gandhi and Bhagat Singh. I mean, it's absolutely contemptible in my opinion, and shows up as a very desperate political forum. And I understand they have a crisis, but that's not the way to extract some kind of capital out of it. The second point is, what my friend Sumanth mentioned, that at the moment, if there is a corruption charge and there is a political party that wants to extract mileage out of it in Gujarat, it also tells you about the state of politics in India, that if you're accused of corruption, that can actually become an electoral asset. Anywhere else in the world, people will say, are we a banana republic or what? That tomorrow, if you're accused of a crime or if you're, got some serious kind of allegations against you, if that becomes some kind of a marketing weapon, then I think that's a very unfortunate state of Indian politics. But there are two issues on which we need a clear answer. And I think that's where Indian politics really gets defined. Number one, if AAP's accusation is true, that the BJP is using its authoritarian powers, its autocratic tendencies of late, to use the law enforcement agencies to harass politicians, that is a very poor reflection on the BJP. And for a ruling party, it's important that that's not the perception you carry, because all opposition parties have indeed felt an incessant heat of what we call as the CBI ED culture. On the other hand, if Mr. Sisodia is indeed corrupt, then this is what got to be the most hypocritical farce that we are witnessing.
But even Rahul Gandhi, Sonia Gandhi have done the same theatrics every time the ED called them for questioning. So why are you behaving so holier than thou when it comes to the Aam Aadmi Party?
Well, let me explain that. The simple reason, Navika, is this, that it's there on record, we can all see it in the public domain, that the conviction rates of the CBI, of the ED in the high-profile cases, I'm not talking about petty cases, is abysmally low, which is why it is accused, and I think in my opinion very correctly so, of becoming a tool or an instrument of political intimidation. And that is something for any ruling government. The Congress has had to face the heat on it, and the BJP will have to answer as well, and the public are watching. I mean, they're wondering, why is it that the BJP politicians are as pure as running water, but all other political creatures in the country?
Okay, so let me ask the contrary question to Mr. Ratan Sharda. Well, maybe everybody is not so pure, but the question is, look at the track record of the Aam Aadmi Party, since it's a debate on the Aam Aadmi Party tonight. Jitendra Tomar, Farzi degree, and that case everybody remembers. Vijay Singla had to be removed, as they say in Hindi, Juma Juma Char Din te mantri bane Punjab mein, and he had to be removed because commission being demanded was the charge against him. Asim Ahmad Khan, again removed by Mr. Kejriwal himself because he was taking some gratification from some builders, and Kejriwal said at that time that he received a video and he took the decision to throw him out. And then Amanatullah Khan went to court, went to jail and came out. Satyendra Jain, last 140 days in jail, despite several hearings for bail, hasn't been able to come out. So I'm asking you, why question the issue about Manish Sisodia if there is nothing? And if the BJP is concocting this because of Gujarat elections, as the Aam Aadmi Party says, then Manish Sisodia will walk out free sooner than later. Itna hangama kyun hai?
First of all, my sympathies with sympathizers that Manish Sisodia has been released. I mean, he was never arrested, but he's free now. So all their entire game plan since morning to create a martyr out of Mr. Sisodia has gone waste. I pity them. Secondly, people say Irani died at southern deaths. Today, Irani actually committed suicide. When you go to the memorial of Mahatma Gandhi, who was against alcohol and drinking, you have a person who actually expanded the scope of drinking, encouraged drinking, made drink available at every nook and corner, made special packages of Tetra packs so everybody can pick up like Coke and drink it. That is the kind of person who goes to Rajghat, where they never went. That's the irony of the entire thing. Coming to the issue of victimhood, if you say that there are elections, that's why it's happening. We have elections every 6 months. So no case should take place, no arrest should be made, no corruption charges should be put on anybody because there is election. And when you talk about this corruption case, what is the case basically? Case is you decrease the margin of the people, that is taxation. You increase the margin of profiteers who sell liquor. You had a cartel of people who manufacture also sell. You reduce number of sellers to some favorites. You did the same in Punjab. And now today you say that no, we are doing justice. So answer, they have never answered the question why they decrease their own share, why they increase liquor mafia's share, why did they change the policy and again took with the policy. Coming to their holier than thou attitude, you remember there is a gentleman who said, I have got 360 pages charge sheet against Miss Sheila Dixit. Anybody remembers? Do you remember that there is no Lokpal in Punjab despite months of government in Punjab? Do you remember it took them months together to put a Lokpal in place in Delhi? Do you remember the same man today is acting holier than thou, that he's a minister, not just minister. He resigned from excise minister, right? He can do his education, who stopped him? So this person who was holier than thou, these people did not allow the Lok Sabha to pass a Lokpal bill. Sanjay Jha is there because the Prime Minister was not included in the Lokpal bill. Today the Chief Minister, Deputy Chief Minister of a mayor level Delhi state wants special treatment for themselves. Entire game is so stupid. You talk of Bhagat Singh, you said farzi case tha Mahatma Gandhi pe. Did Mahatma Gandhi ever have a farzi case? Mahatma Gandhi invited cases on himself. He went to jail voluntarily, and आप बोलते हैं कि वो तो फर्जी केस थे. You are saying that हमारा हाल भगत सिंह जैसा है. Bhagat Singh fought against colonial powers. Are you saying that we have colonial powers in India, so they have no faith in our constitution? These are the issues. Actually, this is a light-hearted comedy if you look at the other side. Only because the name of Gandhiji and Bhagat Singh is taken, you are talking so seriously. Actually, entire tamasha has fallen apart.
Well, I want to ask you, Dr. Sumanth Raman. Dr. Sumanth Raman, the first part of the statement made by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal this morning was, जेल के ताले टूटेंगे, सिसोदिया जी छूटेंगे. अरे भाई, किसने अरेस्ट किया? छूटेंगे कैसे? अरेस्ट ही नहीं किया है. And he actually said from the stage of rally in Gujarat, he said that he has been arrested. I just want to know, is it the fear that he is going to be arrested that was being spoken about, or was it really misleading to say that he has been arrested when he actually hasn't been, and he is back home today possibly having dinner with his family?
Kejriwal is justified in expecting Mr. Sisodia to be arrested because his own cabinet colleague Satyendra Jain has been arrested.
There is a difference. You may expect him to be arrested, but to say that he has already been arrested.
Has been arrested. So therefore, No, that is incorrect.
No, Mr. Raman,
he should not have said he's already been arrested.
Okay, I want to replay. I want to replay the sound bite. No. You've challenged me on a fact. Now listen.
I did not interrupt you.
No, you did not. But you have questioned me on a matter of fact. I want to replay the sound bite of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal before we go any forward on this debate. Arvind Kejriwal's what he said today early morning in Gujarat.
उन्होंने कहा गुजरात में हमारी सरकार बनेगी, गुजरात में भी गांव-गांव के अंदर, शहर के अंदर ढेर सारे स्कूल बनाएंगे। अभी उन्होंने गुजरात आना था, लेकिन आज इन लोगों ने मनीष सिसोदिया को गिरफ्तार कर लिया। वो नहीं चाहते कि मनीष सिसोदिया गुजरात में जाके चुनाव का प्रचार करें। 1 महीने तक ये मनीष सिसोदिया को गिरफ्तार करेंगे।
वो आज आने वाले थे गुजरात, पर आज इन्होंने इनको गिरफ्तार कर लिया। Now, if you understand Hindi as I do, he has been arrested, is what was said.
I understand Hindi, Navika. Factually, that is inaccurate on the part of Kejriwal to have said that.
All right.
But to expect him to be arrested, Mr. Sisodia himself has been saying that for the last 15 days. He says, I'm going to be arrested.
He also said that Operation Lotus was happening and he was asked to leave the Aam Aadmi Party and join the BJP. And he said he had proof and sound recordings which we haven't seen for 1.5 months.
Well, if we are going into the specifics of the charges politically being made, I think Sanjay Jha made this point about me saying that I was pointing out that corruption charges make somebody electable. Not at all. It is the sympathy that comes from a perceived persecution or an unfair accusation that generates the sympathy. That is why Mr. Sisodia wants to be arrested. Maybe that's why he has not gone to the Supreme Court. One other very important point. There was also this mention about...
But you've answered the point. You've answered the point, Dr. Sumanth Raman. And let me get in Gaurav Bhatia. Gaurav Bhatia, Sumanth Raman has had to admit that Sisodia was not arrested and a false claim was made in Gujarat by Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. Number one. Number two, so far we don't have a proof on BJP trying to get Sisodia to join their party. So what do you make of this persecution that is being converted into an opportunity?
Navika, I think when the results are declared, we'll come to know whether it fetched any fruits for the Papi Aap or not. And we are very sure that the Bharatiya Janata Party will yet again win both Himachal as well as Gujarat. And Aam Aadmi Party during the last assembly elections in Gujarat got a dismally low 0.05% of the votes. This time I think it would be further reduced. But look at the double standards of these parties in the opposition, and let me cite 2 examples. One, for Vijay Singla, whom you mentioned, the Punjab Health Minister, he was sacked and Arvind Kejriwal came out and said that only allegations are enough. We received a complaint, he is corrupt, we sack him. Why is the same yardstick not applied for Manish Sisodia? Is the question that everyone is asking. Second, when National Herald case was being probed, the Congress was protesting and Aam Aadmi Party was saying, yes, action should be taken, ED is doing the right thing. Congress said, no, this is political vendetta. Today, it's just the opposite. Aam Aadmi Party is crying foul. They are saying this is political vendetta. And the Congress spokespersons are saying ED is doing its job. This means that ED is actually doing his job well and these people are corrupt. And that is how they change the yardstick. Third, Sanjay Jha ji just said the conviction rate is very low. Sanjay Bhai, for the CBI, the agency that is probing Manish Sisodia, the conviction rate is 67%. So please get your facts right. And regarding using the name of Mahatma Gandhi ji, Navika, Arvind Kejriwal was not even there to pay tribute to Mahatma Gandhi ji on 2nd of October this year. And the LG had written, a very strong letter to him that you could not even fulfill your constitutional obligation. So they like to use the credibility and the name of our national heroes, but only to their advantage and if it suits their political needs, and they have no reverence or respect for Bhagat Singh ji, Mahatma Gandhi ji,
Response, Sanjay
Netaji
Jha.
Subhash
Response,
Chandra Bose.
Sanjay Jha.
Well, interestingly, I partly agree with Gaurav and partly don't. But let me tell you where I first find that he's factually incorrect. The data on the CPI that you're quoting, Gaurav, actually represents a lot of petty cases also that CBI handles. We are talking about cases of political harassment, but the CBI's track record is absolutely
Sanjay bhai, very bad.
Anyway, let me finish.
No.
On ED,
in your time, when the Congress government was in power, did you have a separate percentage of conviction rate for petty cases and separate one for big cases? And who are big and who are petty in the eyes of the law? I want to ask you, Sanjay Jha, is there an entitlement culture even within the conviction rates of people who are accused of corruption? Usme bhi entitlement hai?
Yes, let me tell you, Navika, ED's conviction rate, as we all know, is around 2%, which is terrible. It's an embarrassment.
Can I tell you? Would you want to pick up the Enforcement Directorate's track record up until 2014 and then now? Would you want to pick it up and then split it into two time segments, sir?
Well, let me tell you, it actually gets even worse. It actually even gets worse after Mr. Modi's become Prime Minister. Gaurav, don't interrupt me. I'm just going to take a couple of seconds, not too long. As far as the CBI case is concerned, kindly investigate the details. It's a fully researched report that if you take the CBI's entire cases, many of them actually don't have the kind of scale of harassment that we're talking about. And then its track record goes to 6%. Otherwise, it's pretty dismal and awful. But the larger point, Navika, that we need to understand here is the Aam Aadmi Party's past track record is actually, this shoot and scoot story on which their whole political story is based is now coming to haunt them. Their credibility is at all-time low, and nobody really believes their hollow defense. And even when they are credible, nobody is buying into their entire tale. As far as the BJP is concerned, let me tell you, Gaurav, you like it or not, you have destroyed institutions of governance in the country. And the Supreme Court and the High Courts have commented on the way you arrest people, on the way you have used AAP and the citizen law to target journalists, the NGOs, anybody who basically is critical of you.
All right.
That's documented. I don't think you never asked for that.
All right. So let me get in Ratan Sharda. Ratan Sharda, is it a coincidence that there are no cases against BJP leaders and there are only cases against the opposition? Is there some truth to that charge that the opposition always makes?
That's the question that BJP representatives should be answering. Not me, because they are in the government. I am not in the government.
No, but don't you? But as a citizen of this country, doesn't that strike you as odd?
As a sympathizer.
But then, if you look at the track record, every government, their own people are not really investigated seriously. That is the blunt truth. Whether it's Congress or AAP or anybody.
No, what about those who were accused of corruption by BJP?
Sumanth,
who then joined the BJP? Excuse me, Mr. Ratan Sharda. What about those accused of corruption by BJP who joined the BJP subsequently? What about Y.S. Chaudhary? What about Narayan Rane? What about Himanta?
That's the point. It doesn't make it any less serious. It doesn't make it any less serious just because there are no cases against the BJP, Dr. Sumanth Raman. The fact is that cases against opposition leaders, and if they stand in a court of law, that is the test. And Gaurav Bhatia, conviction rate percentages, or the fact that BJP doesn't have any investigations against them, all of these keep coming up. Do you think it is actually a game, as Sumanth Raman started this debate by saying, a game that is now being played only between political parties, whereas for the Aam Aadmi on the street, the citizen of this country, the law doesn't seem to have any of these flexibilities as political parties seem to think it has for them, whether they are in the opposition or in the government? How do you respond to that?
Navika, I respond with the responsibility, and I want to say just because there would be elections in 2 states doesn't mean the investigating agencies would not do their job. They have to continue with the investigation, and if anybody is aggrieved, he can move the court, and that question posed by me remains unanswered. Second, when I spoke about CBI, very high conviction rate, Sanjay Bhai, he changed the goalpost. But I must tell him that he was talking about ED. And Sanjay Bhai, these are the numbers for you. ED has done a tremendous job also with the conviction rate that you were talking. Don't forget, there are 992 trials that are going on. When decided, they will also raise the number of the conviction. Second, the provisional attachment done by the ED amounts to 1,04,702 crores. There are 739 provisional attachment orders, and believe me, the Supreme Court has never reprimanded our government saying that CBI is a cage parrot. That happened only during the UPA government.
Well,
Third,
and as they say,
destroying institutions,
you know, whatever be the charges, whatever be the allegations, whatever be the hit back politically, the fact of the matter is, it's business as usual. Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has just tweeted that Manish Sisodia will be back on the election trail in Gujarat starting tomorrow. So, well, as they say, life goes on. And what happens? What about answers to the public's questions? Well, as always, we'll be waiting for a long time because elections are on, investigations are on, and a game of political chess is currently on between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. We leave it at that. Thank you very much to my panelists for joining me on debate number 1.